Welcome back to Smart Architectural Programming. In today's Java lesson, we're diving into the fundamental concept that every Java programmer should understand: comparing strings and StringBuilder. So, this video is an official companion to our Introduction to Java textbook, and it's perfect if you're just starting your Java journey, or even if you're just following along as an experienced Java programmer. It's good to revise the fundamentals. So we're going to focus on String and StringBuilder, which is a very important concept that you need to understand before you move forward in anything on Java. So let's start with the string class and understanding the string class itself. So one of the most used classes in Java. In Java, a string is an object that represents a sequence of characters. Even if you think you're working with plain text, you're working with string objects. The string class comes packed with useful methods like length function, substring function, index of function, and toUpperClass function. So let's start by creating some strings. So as you can see, there are two primary ways you can create strings in Java. And let me pull up my trusty little pen utility here, and you'll see these two here, right? So the first one uses string literal method. This one here. This is the first one that we're referring to. So this one uses the string literal, the most common and efficient way to create strings in Java. The second one uses a new string object explicitly. As you can see, new string object. This is the second one here. So, which is basically generally avoided unless necessary for certain users. So let's talk about immutability of strings. So what is the immutability of strings here? One of the most important characteristics of string class is immutability. This means once a string object is created, it cannot be changed. So as we're looking at these immutability code here, even if we used concat, basically as we're using at this portion in this particular piece of code, the original string remains unchanged. It didn't become Java programming. Why? Because a new string is returned and we didn't assign it to anything. Always assign the result when modifying strings, basically. So how could you understand the StringBuilder class? To solve the limitations of immutable strings in performance-sensitive tasks, Java provides a StringBuilder class. What is that StringBuilder class? As you can see, we're using this StringBuilder here to create a variable called sp. Then we're using new and StringBuilder object and creating something called Java here, right? So StringBuilder is basically immutable, which means that you can modify its content without creating new object every single time. So how can you go about creating a StringBuilder object? You can create a StringBuilder object in two ways. Like before, once we have a StringBuilder here, I'll be focusing on the differences here, right? This new StringBuilder, new StringBuilder, but we have something in the quotation marks within the bracket of StringBuilder here. The first creates basically an empty StringBuilder. The second initialize it with a string value at the start. So how do you go about modifying strings with StringBuilder? So unlike strings, modifying StringBuilder is very easy and efficient. Let's see it in action. As you can see this code here, we're using append here, sp.append here, to basically modify the original object that we just created, right? So what's happening here? Like we're using the append to create a new object, and we're adding in front of Java programming by appending that in front of it. One thing that you notice here, we can use the append function, insert function, delete function, or reverse function, or toString function. These are the common methods that you can use with StringBuilder in Java. So what is the difference between string and StringBuilder, right? Let's do a quick analysis here. Is StringBuilder mutable? Yes, it is. StringBuilder is mutable, but strings are not mutable. At the same time, is StringBuilder thread safe? No, but it can become thread safe if you use something called string buffer, but otherwise it's a no here. As well as normal string, it also is not thread safe. If you want to talk about performance, StringBuilder is faster, while normal strings are slower for many edits. At the same time, what is the most common use of each of them? StringBuilder is most common use as heavy string manipulation, as you can see here, while the strings common use as text data and small edits. So If you're doing lots of string concatenation inside loops, go with StringBuilder. If you're dealing with simple text or constants, string is the way to go. Avoid using strings in loops with plus equals to unless you're okay with memory waste. To recap, use strings when you find fixed read-only text. Use StringBuilder when you need to build or modify text efficiently. Understanding the difference improves performance and helps you write better Java code. A very important tip here would be to use Smart Builder in loops, StringBuilder in loops, and strings for constants. Thanks for watching. This was a companion video for the Introduction to Java book brought to you by Smart Architectural Programming. If you found this helpful, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next updates. With that, we're going to wrap up and see you in our next video.